Hello, I'm Trevor Lewis from the Voyager Middle School STEAM Lab, and this is a quick video that's going to show you how to use QMLATIV to communicate with your students and their guardians. So this is Skyward QMLATIV. I've already logged in. This is my home page that I have set up, and up here is my message center. You can see I don't have any messages right now. When a student logs in, they'll have different tiles than this, but they'll have this message center, and if you've sent them a message, there'll be a little icon here, maybe in red, that says that you have 1 or 2 or 3 messages, and that's how you can send messages. Our district also sets it up so that if a student has an email address logged in QMLATIV, that when they get that message, they will also get an email notification of that message. The same thing is true for our guardian. If a guardian has an email, and when you send that message to guardians, it will show up in their messages, but they will also get a notification of that message in their email address. The default is on, so only people who have pressed opt out of these messages will have that removed. So it's a very good way to get messages out to most of the students who have email addresses on file. So the way you're going to do it is you're not going to go here. That's the thing that's a little bit confusing for me. You're not going to go to My Messages. What you're going to do is you're going to go over to the hamburger menu, over here as they call it, and you're going to go down to Message Center, and you're going to choose Message Center. Once you get into the Message Center, you can see I have sent 2 emails. I sent one to students and one to guardians. This is what I recommend because, especially since nobody knew that we were going to be doing so many things remotely, not everyone has an email address for both of these on. So I send it to both places each time I send a message. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Add a Message, okay, and then you get into this menu. So you can see you can choose guardians or students here. And I recommend starting out with students. That's what I do because I'm in secondary. And so I start off with students, and you can say all currently enrolled students. That's all of your students. If you're sending out something like a Google Classroom course code, which I have the text for right here, I would recommend that you send it to one class at a time so that you can change the course code. So if you're going to do that, you kind of have to know which class is which, because when you click all currents enrolled in the selected classes, and then you click this window right here, you can see it doesn't exactly say which one's period 1, 2, or 3. These are actually section titles. So at my school, this is trimester 1 A day, and this is trimester 1 B day. I just know that because I've memorized what the codes are. So these are section numbers. So you're going to need to know that. Sometimes you need to know course codes too, because I have a trimester long 8th grade class and a year long 8th grade class. So you got to be really careful about what you're choosing. So you're going to choose which class you want. And if you want multiple classes, you can choose multiple classes. But like I said, if you're sending out a Google Classroom course code one at a time, if you have separate sections, you can see you can use this to create sort of a form letter where you push insert field, and then it'll say hello student name, and then when they put it in, it'll actually fill in the student name. You're going to put in a subject and a message. I pre-typed my message and in a different program so that I could figure it out a little bit. So what I would do is I would select all this, and I would copy it, and I would paste it in here. So now that I have my text down here, let me point out a couple of really important things. This part is really, really important, so please make sure that you pay attention to this. We're having some issues with guardians thinking that this is spam, because it's not actually sent from your email address, it's sent from QMLATIV. So what's really important is that when you write your subject line, that you put something in here that implies who it's from, right? Because it's being sent by this automatically generated no reply email address. So maybe something like a message from Voyager Middle School STEAM Lab. And then I might even put my name, because my name is not going to be in the email address. That way they know it's from me, and they might actually open it. The other thing that's really important about that is at the end here in the text that I'm providing you with, there's my email address. There's a little part here about this message being sent by QMLATIV. You cannot reply to it directly. If you want to contact me, please email me directly at this address, and it lists my email address. So they can copy and paste that, or maybe I get my fingers crossed that QMLATIV turns that into a hyperlink when they actually send the email address. Not sure if they do or not, but you must do that. Otherwise, you're probably not going to be effectively communicating with people. Also, even if they don't have an email address on file, if they log into QMLATIV, which a lot of people are doing right now so that they can have some connection with their school, it'll show up in My Messages. So that's an important thing to think about as well. So once this is all done, I'm going to send this out, and I want to send it to students first. And then once I send it to students, I'm going to copy and paste it into Guardians. And then at the top, I'm going to say, I just sent this message to your students. That way, it's both places. But please make sure you have a good subject line and you have a way for them replying to you. You can also add attachments. So you can add a file attachments. That's a little clunky, but you can figure it out. You can add attachments. You can attach pictures or files, which is important. So once you've sent both of those should show up for your students. So that's a good way of sending things out. Please check the description link for the text of the sample message that I sent out. And please watch my other videos about remote learning so that you can help your students get access to all of that education.